Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of the Hounds for Life podcast. I'm Shanna.
And I'm, as always, Maya. Today's episode is called Coffee and Brandy, and what even is osteopathy for greyhounds?
Before we get started into the interview, let's catch up on the past 2 weeks.
Yes, what happened?
Well, exciting news, we got a van.
Yay!
Which is so cool, so we can fit 4 greyhounds in it. She's chattering.
She's excited too.
She loves the podcast. We can fit 4 greyhounds in it, and it's going to be kitted out to have 4 crates. It'll be awesome.
Yeah.
I think we should do an episode on it.
We will.
But we've got someone designing it, so hopefully it'll be all designed and ready to go by Christmas.
Yay!
Yeah.
And we also got this fancy t-shirt.
Woohoo!
Without the greyhound in the head.
Yeah, she's not. And we do have a logo. We have it on the back too.
Yeah. You want to show it?
Yeah. Can you see it?
Not quite. You have to sit up a little bit. Yay! Yay! That's better.
Woohoo!
Yay!
It's so cool, hey? In dog news, Blaze has possibly got a new home in Nelson. We're just fingers crossed waiting to hear that it's okay. And Brucey, who came from the live-in kennels, he has actually got a new home in Rangiora, and he headed off on Sunday or Saturday, I think it was. So we're really happy for him. He is such a sweet dude. I'll miss him. But we also had 2 new fosters arrive in the weekend. Which is Major and Perry, and they're super cool greyhounds. We're so happy to have them and to have the opportunity to help to rehome them. And what else have we got up to? Oh, we had
a visitor.
Yeah, we had a visitor.
Fatima was here from Night Drive. Mm-hmm. She made it all the way across the Cook Strait with the new foster dogs, and was with us on the weekend. And we had lots of fun.
Yeah.
And lots of talks about greyhounds, of course. What else?
So yeah, that was cool, hey?
Yeah.
So episode 4, as we move forward, features an expert interview from Nicole from Marlborough Osteopaths. And we also have a owner interview, of course, which is Helen and her 2 greyhounds, Coffee and Brandy.
Which we took, you will see that probably, you will probably recognize. It's at Night Drive Greyhounds.
Yeah.
Where we took the footage because we met her there, and we took the advantage of her to ask her for an interview. While
she
we were
actually
visiting.
volunteers there, yeah?
She does. I think she is one of the, I wouldn't say oldest, that's not nice, one of the longest.
Yeah, longest.
One is the longest volunteers at Night Drive.
They have a really good crew of volunteers, which is so awesome. It helps them out so much. So our how-to segment this week is how to clip your greyhound's toenails with the traditional clippers. So we're going to run through that and help you guys get a feel for how easy it is to do it in your own home. And then
I actually started to do that now as
you
well.
have?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so easy, honestly. Yeah. I remember the first time I did it, I was like, it was a bit, were you nervous?
I was a bit nervous, but I think the video is so comprehensive that I felt really equipped.
Fingers crossed it helps you guys,
Our foster of the fortnight is Blaze. What was her kennel name?
Her racing name was Blazing Diamond.
Oh, Blazing Diamond, exactly. And I learned that this is an expression for a fiery.
Yeah, a fiery diamond.
She's up for adoption. You will see she's super sweet, and we are sure she won't be long with us.
Yeah, no, I don't think she'll be much longer, but yeah, she's very sweet. She's quite curious, hey?
Yeah, she's curious and she's just ideal. I think she has no naughtinesses or flaws.
She's so sweet.
She's absolutely sweet.
Yeah. This episode we take you guys to the basically brand new dog park in Renwick, Marlborough. It was so much fun, and we met the sweetest guy there who was actually so intrigued by the greyhounds, and I think is possibly considering getting one.
I think so.
Yeah, you'll see his dog playing with the greys. It's really sweet. But before I say too much, let's go forward into the episode.
Yeah. Enjoy the show, guys. See ya.
See us.
Little darling, it's been a long, long racing season. Little darling, it's time to rest and find a home. Here comes the hounds, didn't you know? Here comes the hounds, and I say it's for life. Hounds for life. Hounds for life.
Upcoming is us watching Nicole from Marlborough Osteopathy, how she's treating Silky. I had her calling out for Silky because Silky had a few issues that I couldn't explain. Let's put it that way. Nothing bad, she's a very good girl, but for example, she refused to jump up into the car.
Yeah.
She's putting her front paws on the, you know, on the back deck, and then waits that I lift her up, and she actually jumps into my hand, so she wants to help.
Yeah,
But
she is
she-
such a good girl.
She's a good girl, but she has some issue, and you know, she is just Silky. She's a bit
She's special.
special girl. So anyhow, so I heard about osteopathy for dogs. I definitely know it for humans, and it works miracles sometimes. It's an alternative practice, and it helps with the body system, the nervous system, the lymphatic system, and the circulatory system.
Cool.
Yeah.
I hadn't really heard of it until.
Yeah. And it also because it impacts the nervous system, it also impacts the mind set. So I had her out for 2 sessions. It was wonderful for Silky. She enjoyed it so much. And it was lovely that she agreed to be on the show and answer us some questions while she was treating Silky about osteopathy for dogs.
Yeah.
So that's coming up.
Cool.
When do you recommend a Greyhound owner should seek the help of an osteopath?
A lameness. If the dog's having, you know, sort of ongoing behavioural problems.
Like? What kind?
I think, you know, unsettled.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps, you know, a change of environment and they're a bit anxious. It might be helpful. Those are the kind of situations where we'll work with people as well.
Oh, so
going
if
through kind of changes.
a Greyhound is new in a home, if it's newly rehomed, you think it could help to have osteopathy?
Yeah, if the dog is particularly nervous,
Yeah.
you know, if it's not a kind of bomb-proof dog,
Yeah.
then it could be useful, yeah, because we work with the nervous system as well.
Okay. What is osteopathy generally helping with?
Mobility and fluid flow, that would be it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if an area has poor blood supply to and from it,
Yeah.
its ability to be healthy and recover from injury is compromised.
How do you know if a dog is in pain?
I feel for tissue texture, that's the main thing. Tissue texture and range of motion.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess experience of tissue texture mainly tells me where an animal is likely to be sore, and you'll often see a quick reaction. I think we noticed that last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Like a reaction, because
The animal will
Greyhounds
look up
look up. Mm-hmm.
often.
Yeah. Because they don't say much, eh?
No. That's right.
They are only whining when there's nothing. You know, they are drama queens. When there's really nothing, you have a loud. What was your biggest challenge in treating a dog so far?
Speed. A dog has a pretty short attention span, so you need to get in, find it, fix it, leave it alone, which is you know, osteopathy to a T. But you have to be quick.
So normally an osteopathy session would be longer for a human?
We usually run about a half hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with the dog?
Probably 20 minutes.
Okay. How many sessions would a dog need, like say, just as an average if it would be anxiety problems. Like
I really have no idea. It just depends on what the dog's been through. You know, if it's a rescue dog, then you don't know what the dog's been through. I guess, like you were describing, greyhounds have a reasonably good life. So
stable.
Yeah. And they're not abused.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there are dogs that are adopted that have been abused. And, you know, those animals are going to be quite different.
So it won't take much for a greyhound.
I imagine so.
Yeah.
Just in hearing what you've talked about and their upbringing and
That's good. Did you have any other greyhound yet to treat?
Yeah, we did a fair chunk of our training on greyhounds because they're so easy to manhandle.
Oh, really? Is it?
Well, apparently.
Yeah, well, it is.
Yeah, they're a nice size as well. You know, you're not kind of down on the ground all the time.
And what was the main concerns? What do you reckon?
With the dogs that I treat?
Yes.
Low back stuff. Into the lameness in the hindquarters.
Oh, yeah.
To varying degrees, mainly. That would be why we would be looking at them, but often find a ton of other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes just how the tail does or doesn't move.
That was a big sigh from Silky. That's normally a good sign of relief.
Yeah, it's a good sign. It's a good sign with people, good sign with animals.
Yeah.
It's chillaxing. If the claw can't move, it causes them a decent amount of discomfort, I think.
And which part is not moving?
The claw should be able to retract.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it comes out and goes back. Whereas this one is probably a little bit, you see there's something going on there. Just, you know, they get there.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I honestly found the osteopath so fascinating. I had never really heard of it before. I come from a really small town, and alternative treatments aren't really that common there. So I found it so interesting, and it was wonderful to watch her work with Silka. She actually had a little bit of a go on my girl Ashley. She has a little bit of anxiety, so she had a feel and told me a few things that she thought would help. Coming next, we have the owner interview with Brandy, Coffee, and their mother owner, Helen. So I really enjoyed Helen. She was so sweet and such a Kiwi gal. She was awesome. I hope you're watching this, Helen. There's not a lot more I can say. I'm sure you'll gauge more from watching it. She was really wonderful, and her greys are so obsessed with her. It was so sweet.
Welcome, Helen, to the Hounds for Life podcast owner's interview. We're thrilled to have you on the show.
Thank
Look
you.
at you with your beautiful guys. So just tell us the names of your greyhounds.
All right, so this is Brandy and he's 7 years old, and this is Coffee and she's 4.
Oh, wonderful. And where do you live with them?
I live in the Manawatu. Yes. Yep.
So tell us all about your greyhound story. How did you even think about having a greyhound, and how did you find your first greyhound?
Oh, well, I never knew anything about greyhounds. They were complete mystery to me. I wasn't a follower of races or anything. And then through Rachel at Night Rave, she suggested they had a greyhound up for adoption, and I thought, oh, that might be a good idea, and it went from there.
Wonderful. So you came and you saw lots of greyhounds. How did you decide to have, what was it, Coffee or Brandy first?
No, my first greyhound was Shadow. I lost him last year, so I've been involved with greyhounds for about 5 years. And yes, Rachel brought Shadow along to meet me at the riding school that I was going to. And yes, we got on from there, no problems. And then Brandy came along, and then this year I've adopted Coffee. So the names are by accident. We have jokes about it being the drinks cupboard because it wasn't intentional, but coffee suited her, and he was, I renamed him Brandenburg, and we made it Brandy instead of Burger. Yeah.
So what are the special traits of your greyhounds? Can you tell us something about?
Well, I guess for me the most important is that they're so friendly and gentle. They're famous for being lazy dogs, and when I was first thinking of a dog and I thought, oh gosh, but I don't have like 2 hours to walk a dog every day, so and Rachel just laughed and said 20 minutes they'll be done. So yeah.
And do you find that was true?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. No, they have more if we want to go, if I want to go for more walks. And we go off to Fielding Dog Club, and that takes, they're on their feet then for an hour and they're fine, but they're nice and tired when they get home.
That sounds great. Do you know anything about the racing history of your greyhounds?
I don't know a lot. I understand that they were both good racers, but I don't know about winnings or or the number that they won or any money involved. I don't know anything about that.
Well, they certainly made their biggest win when they got to be adopted by you.
Oh, that's nice.
So take us to the routine with your 2 greyhounds. How does your day look like?
Well, the day starts with, so they sleep in a crate each in a spare bedroom. So they're inside dogs for overnight. So they have a crate each, and then when I get up, they're outside for toileting. Then we have breakfast, and these 2 eat in different places, but that's just how the routine's developed. It's not for any particular reason. And then I go off to work, and they stay outside during the day, and they stay outside during the day, and then they sleep. And so when I get back, they're ready for a walk, and we go for a walk. We have dinner. And then it's sleep on the couch time until I go to bed, and then they're off to bed. Yeah, so it's very easy. They like the routine. Too many changes. I think these 2 would stress a bit, but other dogs may be easier. Other greyhounds, I'm not sure. Yeah.
Wonderful. What do you feed your greyhounds?
So they have cop rice working dog kibble, and then some topping on the top. So it may be milk. Sometimes I use chef sachet a little bit for flavouring. They have an egg sometimes mixed up. Whatever's around for topping. And then we have treats, which is chunky dog roll cut up into pieces, and that's like money. So if you said, if you have, I'll give you $1,000 for sitting, and they say, okay, of course you'd sit. And so they're the same with the food. Okay, I'll sit. Yeah.
That sounds lovely. So I have 10 questions for you.
Oh my.
10 surprise questions for Greyhound owner.
Okay.
Let's start with the first one. Are you ready for this?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. So what is Coffee's favorite treat?
Oh, anything that she can eat. It doesn't matter.
That wasn't easy.
And Brandy too, actually. Yeah. Both of these 2, they'll play with toys, and they're happy to do that. But yes, anything that they can eat is their favourite.
Whoa.
And Coffee will even decide, oh no, Brandy's treat, that must be for me too. Yeah.
What was your longest doggy walk?
The longest walk. Mm-hmm. Gosh, we joined in with an event where we walked in Palmerston North, and that was a 5K walk. So
how long did that take?
it was, oh gosh, I don't know if I can remember that. Maybe an hour or so.
Okay.
Something like that, yes.
So next question, number 3, are they allowed in your bed or on your bed?
For me, no. I prefer them they've got their own beds. For 2 dogs, we've got about 5 options for their bed arrangements, except for their own crates. But I know that a lot of greyhound owners are happy with the dogs on their bed, so that's great.
What makes Brandy happy?
After he's been to dog training, just show me my bed and I'm fine.
Sounds like a greyhound.
Yeah.
Do they sleep in pyjamas?
Yes, in the winter time. Yes, they each have coats, and they get used to that in the routine as well. Actually, they come in, and if I'm holding the coat, they'll come up and wait for their turn to be into their pajamas, and then I whisk them off when it's toilet time in the morning. And yeah, it's all good. They're used to it, and they like it because they don't have the undercoat that a lot of dogs have. So yeah, it's good to keep them warm.
Tuck them in, eh?
Yes.
What was the smartest thing that Coffee ever did?
Learnt to sit.
Whoa.
So she wasn't going to sit for a long time, and so we got the hang of that. And again, that was through treats as well. But they sit naturally. She was sitting all right in the sitting in the car, for example, and she went down, it was all fine. So she could sit quite naturally, but sitting on command was tricky. She didn't know what was going on or what was happening. So that was the cleverest thing she's done. So I've had her about 9 months, and we got that after a term, I guess.
That's really clever. Not many greyhounds sit, aren't they?
That's right. They seem to find it quite tricky.
What is Brandy doing when he demands cuddles?
So if I'm working at the computer or something and I'm typing away, he will come over and just rest his chin over my arm. So he'll just go, sorry, not now. But he'll just, he'll come and rest his chin over my forearm. And that's okay, can we have a cuddle? Yeah.
And are you normally fulfilling his demands?
Yes, if I can. Normally, yes. If I'm in a panic and I've got to get this work done, then no, later, Brandy, later. And he, okay, fine, and wanders off. Yeah.
Okay with that. Are they snoring?
No, not a lot. Not a lot. Sometimes they have dreams, and so they might make funny noises and their feet might go, or they might sort of twitch, but I think that's true of any dog. But she chatters, happy chatter. Yeah. So her teeth move very fast together, and I hadn't seen that because Shadow didn't do it and Brandy doesn't do it. And I was thinking, gosh, is there something wrong? And Rachel said, no, she's just happy. But she does it in her sleep. She does it when we're watching TV. She does it anytime.
What is their favorite toy?
Food? No. So they have a caterpillar like this one here, and Coffee likes rattling it around. Brandy isn't too toy orientated, but he thinks if Coffee's having fun with something, he might go over and see what's going on.
So the last question, number 10. Do you want an additional greyhound?
Yes, so when I had one, and I thought, it might be quite nice to have a second one because they're just so easy. And so then when Shadow passed away, I had Brandy for a few months before I was ready to get a second one. And then in January, Coffee came along, both from Night Rave. So yeah, yes, no, I don't know if I'm up for a third one, but I know it's quite an addiction, and it's great with the community as well. It's great that there are lots of people with greyhounds and you can always ask questions. I was asking everyone I saw with a greyhound, what's it like with two? And yeah.
And is it true that they don't take up much space, so you can easily squeeze 2 or 3 in your apartment?
Oh yes, absolutely. Yes, and even I've got a 2-seater couch at home and they'll both get up on that. Yeah. Just move each other around and nestle in together, and yeah, no, easy. Don't need much space at all. And even when they're asleep, they can curl up into the size of a big cat, for example. They're amazing folders of their legs, and yeah.
So, last question. Can you even imagine a life without a greyhound?
Not anymore, no.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you to be on the show, Helen. This was lovely to meet with you
okay.
and with Coffee and Brandy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Say bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Our how-to segment in this episode is showing us, actually Shanna is showing us, how to cut the nails of your greyhound. I was actually not doing that on my own. I was going to the vets, and mind you, the last time I went, actually one nail bled horrifically, so I was really put off to do that. But now watching Shanna doing it, it looked so easy, and I gave it a go already, and it is not so frightening anymore. So I'm very happy to do that now. And Shanna has so many tricks up her sleeve. That's amazing. What was this about the flower?
Okay, so the flower trick, when you do clip too far, which occasionally happens, but it's very rare. I think I've done it maybe twice in the last year, say. I use flour, so just plain flour that you bake with. You just put it in a bowl and pop their paw in the bowl and press, and the flour is kind of like a clotting mechanism. Yeah, so it clots the nail, and then you obviously keep them off their feet for a while. Just a couple of hours, say, and that actually is the only thing I've found that helps in terms of household things that you have on hand all the time. You can go to the vets, and they have different methods, which I won't chat about because I'm not 100% sure, but if it doesn't stop bleeding, then you need to take your dog to the vets, because greyhounds bleed a lot more than other dogs, which we'll definitely discuss in another episode.
But if I understand you right, in the upcoming video, is that if you are sticking to your advice there and using all the precautions, that you will most likely never ever cut.
It's very rare.
Into the living part of the foot. Okay, let's see what we have.
Hi everyone! Welcome to the how-to segment for this week's episode. Today we're going to be doing a how-to video on how to trim your dog's nails. So we're going to be doing Silky's nails today, and I'm going to be using I suppose you would call it the scissor method. So these are just your basic toe trimmers. I get the heavy duty ones. You can get these from the vets because greyhounds, especially my male greyhound, has really thick toenails, and I found that the cheap ones just literally break. I have used a Dremel before, and the Dremel's really good, but with the Dremel you have to keep up to date with it a lot more than what you do with the clippers, so that's why I prefer to use the clippers. And you do have to train them a little bit with the Dremel because it is a strange noise, a strange feeling. Our boy Tui was fine with it, whereas our girl Ashley was not so keen, so this works better and it's way faster. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today, and we'll get started. We'll just get silk. Get your dog in a position so you can lift up their foot so I can see them and splay them out. I will put a little picture in to show you guys about the quick. The quick is basically where their their blood vessel ends, and you don't want to clip that because it literally just bleeds and bleeds and bleeds, and it does hurt them briefly. So we don't want to cut that, and with white nails you can actually see the quick. With darker nails, which Silky has, you cannot see the quick, so you just have to either use the guard, which is on the clippers, or just trim as little as possible, really. When you're trimming your dog's nails, you want to trim them just so that they're above the ground. You don't want to have the nails touching the ground because that's when you can cause problems. So see how she's got a white nail here? You can actually see the quick, it finishes right there. So that nail is like pretty short, but you can see it's touching the ground. So we're going to take like as little as possible off that. Whereas the other two, we could get away with not trimming them, but since we're doing it, we'll trim a tiny bit off them. So here we've got Bella's feet. I wanted to talk about the dew claw, which is this little claw here. So They used to use this previous to their evolution, say, but they don't really use it anymore, and a lot of dogs don't actually have these. Sometimes they can cause problems when they're not attached to the bone, and that's when you get them removed. A lot of people with greyhounds have trouble with dew claws. Bella's are quite close in though, and you can feel it's actually attached to her bone, so hence why she's never had any issues with them ripping off. You do actually trim these, because if you don't trim them, they curl around and they can become quite painful. And quite sharp. So we'll just trim that. It's really straightforward. It's so tiny. You want to do it straight, and you just trim a tiny bit off. Done. Really straightforward. And with her other toes, you can see this guard here. This is the guard, and you can actually take that off if you're confident. You want to be confident with your cut. If you are delayed and slow, then it just catches on the nail and it cuts half off. Make sure you're really firm with your cut, or else it's not ideal. Put the nail in, hold it firm, and just cut it. If your greyhound is difficult and pulls their foot away like Bella does, sometimes they get ticklish and they don't want to be, played with, then you can actually get somebody to help you hold them.
So you want to cut it as straight as possible. That way it grows back nicer. It's okay, Bella. Almost done. One more.
So that's it for the how-to segment for this episode. Let me know what you thought of this in the comments, and if you have any problems. Your vet is obviously always happy to help you out, but I feel like if you can do it yourself and you can do it at home, no problems, then it's amazing, honestly. See you guys! I really hope the toenail segment helps you guys out. Now we have the foster of the fortnight, which is Blaze. Her racing name was Blazing Diamond, as you will see. She is a very sweet, very curious girl, and yeah, I hope you guys really enjoy it. I loved working with her.
Yeah.
I try to get her out every day and hang out with us. She reminds me so much of my girl. She's so sweet.
She's like
she
us,
really
yeah.
means well, like she really is just a pure-hearted good girl.
Yeah.
She's so sweet.
She is. So I'm pretty sure we won't have her for long. So
No, yeah.
Stay on your toes,
Yeah.
community. If you want her, let us know sooner than later.
Yeah. Sorry, Blaze isn't currently here right now. She's off exploring. Just waiting for her to return. She's super characteristic. She has such a personality. She's so playful, so curious. Oh, I hear her. Hopefully she pops around soon. Hi everyone, welcome to the foster segment. Today here we have Blaze. Her race name was Blazing Diamond, and she is a 2-year-old female ready to go to her new home. She's a very sweet girl. She is quite down to earth and quite shy. But no doubt she will come out of her shell as soon as she finds the right home. She is very sociable. She's very playful. She is good with all other animals, especially farm ones. She's likely cat trainable, and she's likely to be really good home alone. She's super quiet. We never really hear a peep out of her. She's so sweet. And yeah, this is her. If you guys are interested in adopting Blaze, please get in contact with us so that we can organize for this to go forward. Awesome. And she also really loves yoga. Blaze, what's this, Blazy? Good girl. Good girl. Come here. Come here, good girl. Good girl. Are you a good girl? Yeah. Wow, good girl. She's so curious, eh? Come here, good girl. Ready? Ready ups? Good girl. She's up the front.
Little darling, it's been a long, long racing season. Little darling, it's time to rest and find a home. Here comes the hounds, didn't you know? Here comes the hounds.
Coming to the end of the
I
show,
say.
we are taking you, as always, on a stroll around the area we live in. This time we are going to Renwick. Renwick is about 20 minutes away from Hounds for Life.
Yeah.
And it is has just opened the first proper dog, I would say, park ever in Marlborough. Yay! Took
Everyone
a
was
while.
very excited, yeah.
Took a while. And I believe it's a kind of an experiment or something. If it,
Oh, really?
Yeah. If it goes well, I think we get one in Picton too.
I would hope so.
Alright!
Thank you guys for watching. We'll definitely see you again in episode 5 in 2 weeks. Woohoo! Bye! It'd be funny if I had a drink.
Yeah. Right. Just, okay, take a breath.
Okay.
The dog park. What am I saying?
The Renwick Dog Park rules follow the Renwick